The Vietnam War was another one where the people over there lived different from what we did in the United States, and still do, I'm sure. But they would get up in trees and hide places, and then that's the way that they would get the best of our boys. And with boys over there, so many of them came back so wounded, and their minds were gone and everything, and they had what they called different diseases that we'd never heard of before. But anyway, that was part of the war there, and there was never a win or lose also. And the Desert Storm was about the same way. There never was a winner or a loser. It was just the fact that we went over there and fought and fought and fought and lost a lot of boys because of that. So really, it kind of gives you an idea that you never win a war.
Okay, and then what about, were there any other major things that happened, like other than wars?
Well, sure, we had a lot of things happen. We had the hippies that went around the United States all over the place, and they had nothing really in mind to do because didn't have a job. They didn't try to work. They lived on the streets, and they wouldn't have these music festivals and stuff like Woodstock and all this kind of thing where they never ever did anything at all. It was always just lazy stuff, I guess, is probably the best way to think about it. And then, of course, John F. Kennedy got killed, our president, which was a horrible thing for the nation. I'll never forget it because our son had been in Charlottesville and we were on our way home and we heard it. And it was just like a downing or something. Everybody in the United States was just hurt so bad. He actually was our first Catholic preacher, not preacher, our first Catholic president, is what I'm trying to say. And when he was killed, he was just going down through Texas, greeting the people and waving and everything to him, he and his wife. And he actually just fell over on her because he'd been shot from someone from a building. And they had actually tried to find out who it was, and then finally they figured out they had who it was, but then they never have been positive because this guy was shot when they were taking him from one jail to another. And then Martin Luther King was killed, who was a big man as far as the NAACP was concerned. And he preached to people and he talked to people, encouraged them, and tried to do everything he could to encourage them. But his day came too that someone shot him when he was actually having maybe having a speech that he was actually giving, and someone just shot him. But I'm not positive whether they ever caught the guy that killed him or not. I'm not real sure about that because that part of it's left me.